I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, February the 3rd, 2015. 3 French soldiers were stabbed outside of a Jewish community center in Nice today. They were not seriously wounded, and the attacker has been arrested. A possible accomplice has also been detained. The soldiers were stationed outside the JCC as part of France's anti-terror patrol, put into place after last month's deadly attacks in Paris at the Charlie Hebdo newspaper and the kosher supermarket. Mayor of Nice, Christian Estrosi, said today's attacker had an identity card with the name Moussa Koulibaly on it. Koulibaly happens to be the same last name as the terrorist who attacked the kosher market last month. The last name is a fairly common one among those of Malayan descent. A police official in Nice said today's attacker pulled an approximate 8-inch long knife out of a bag and lunged at the soldiers, injuring one in the chin, one in the cheek, and the third in the forearm before being stopped by riot police stationed nearby. An investigation was ongoing. The head of the United Nations Human Rights Council's Commission of Inquiry into Israel's actions in Gaza this summer is resigning. Canadian law professor William Schabas said yesterday that he would leave his post after allegations from Israel of bias over consultancy work Schabas did 3 years ago for the Palestine Liberation Organization. Schabas said he was resigning because his position created an obstacle and a distraction for the work of the commission. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said after the resignation announcement that the entire inquiry should be discarded. Netanyahu said Hamas, other terrorist organizations, and the terror regimes around us are the ones who need to be investigated and not Israel. The UNHRC said today that despite the resignation of Schabas, they will present their report in Geneva on March the 23rd. German Chancellor Angela Merkel visited the Dohányi Street Synagogue in Budapest, Hungary yesterday, where she paid tribute to the 600,000 Hungarian Jews killed during the Holocaust. Merkel also met with Hungarian Jewish leaders, where they addressed issues of concern, including the rise of anti-Semitism across Europe. Anti-Semitic posters referring to the late Argentine prosecutor Alberto Nisman appeared in a Jewish neighborhood in Buenos Aires today. The posters read, quote, "A good Jew is a dead Jew. The good Jew is Nisman." Nisman's mysterious death on January the 18th of a gunshot wound to the head was first reported as a suicide, but many believe that he was murdered. He was found a day before he was set to present his findings of the 1994 bombing of the Jewish Center in Buenos Aires to a congressional hearing in Argentina. DAIA, the Argentine Jewish political umbrella, expressed concern about the posters. Its president, Julio Schlosser, said yesterday, "We condemn the clear anti-Semitic content of the posters, as well as the incitement to violence, and urge the relevant authorities to investigate the case and to identify the perpetrators and masterminds." The chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine, or SJP, at DePaul University is facing harsh criticism for holding a fundraiser tonight for convicted Palestinian terrorist Rasmia Odeh. Odeh was convicted in 1970 for a terror attack that killed 2 Hebrew University students in Jerusalem in 1969. In 1980, she was released from an Israeli jail during a prisoner swap. In their promotion of the fundraiser tonight, the SJP referred to Odeh as a, quote, Palestinian community leader who has exemplified resilience. The American Jewish Committee said they were appalled by the fundraiser. Director of the AJC's Chicago region, Amy Stoken, said SJP's campus activities promoting hatred of Israel have no moral limits, noting the group's ongoing promotion of the BDS, or Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, and now supporting a convicted terrorist. Stoken said both support for BDS and for Odeh are counterproductive to efforts to achieve Israeli-Palestinian peace. Odeh also faces charges currently here in the U.S. for lying about her terrorist past when she immigrated to the United States, for which she could face jail time or deportation. The National Food Bank of Israel is celebrating Tu B'Shvat by helping those less fortunate. The Jewish holiday, which begins tonight, marks the beginning of a new year for the trees and is celebrated by eating fruits that come from trees. Leket Israel, the country's largest food bank, has sent out youth volunteers from across the country to pick excess fruit from private gardens and fields for those in need through Project Citrus Rescue. Leket Israel's founder and chairman Joseph Gittler said the project is a wonderful opportunity to benefit those less fortunate and to mark Tu B'Shvat in a truly meaningful way. And turning now to our programming for tonight, at 8 o'clock, political analyst, author, and former UN diplomatic representative for Guyana, Cherub Nichols, talks to the Lawfare Project's Brooke Goldstein about the UN and Israel. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with CEO of the Jewish National Fund, Russell Robinson, on L'chaim. And then at 10 tonight, authors of Emerging Metropolis, Daniel Sawyer and Annie Polland, talk about the history of Jewish immigration to New York City. That's tonight on JBS and jbstv.org. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, February the 3rd, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader. Chag Sameach.